Hi everyone, this is another game I've just sort of come up with in holidays. We're just nearly at the end of the school holidays, but I'm just taking a bit of extended leave. But this activity just sort of came to me this morning, and I'd just like to call it this, and that. All you need is a chart, my trusty 120 chart. And to modify this game, you can also just use the blank one. I'll give you some options for that as well. Pretty much 3 dice. All we do is we roll the first dice. You can have 2 players, you can have 3 players on the chart. I roll the first dice, for example, a 2 comes up. Keep that in mind. And then we roll a second dice, a 3. So I've got a 2 and I've got a 3. I say what I'm going to do with those. Do I do 2 plus 3, 3 take away 2, 3 times 2, whatever. If they were divisible, I could use that as well. So each player says what they're going to do with those first 2 numbers. Then when we roll the third dice, so now we're anticipating what numbers we can do. The idea is to try and get 3 in a row, or the most numbers on a chart. You could, different rules for different schools. You can decide what you're going to do. So if I've got a 2 and a 3, I might say I'm going to multiply. So I've got 2 times 3 is 6. My opponent might say 3 take away 2, so they're at 1. Then we roll the third dice. We're anticipating what numbers we can be heading towards. So if I'm at 6, I'm thinking, well, I might multiply the third number, I might subtract it, I might divide if possible. So it comes up, say if it's a 4. So I've got 2, 3 and 4. I said 2 times 3 is 6. I'm going to go times 4 is 24. I place a counter or a cross off 24. My opponent said we're going to go 3, take away 2 is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. They would cross off 4 or put a counter on 4. So after those first 2 numbers, they're looking at available numbers to use and consider for that last number. What operation they might be at? They might be needing the number 35, for example. So the first 2 numbers, they do something that will get them close to that, and then with that third number, they might be able to hit 35 straight away or get close to it. They might be looking for numbers in a certain area. They might have 2 in a row here, so they're targeting some of the numbers around there. So with their 3 numbers, they are trying to work out an equation that might get them something in that area. As I said before, you could change it and just use a blank chart. So when I said 35 was my target, and I get it, I have to find where 35 is here. You just don't have the benefit of the numbers there. It's another layer of taking the game a bit further. Other things you could do, blocking your opponent from getting 3 in a row. Instead of aiming to get your number, you might see that they're getting very close to getting 3 in a row, so you might sacrifice getting one of your numbers to blocking them. So the whole game, there's a lot of strategies about blocking, aiming for certain numbers, or looking for specific numbers and knowing which operation to use that will get you those numbers. Another option could be you could just draw up a 3 by 3 grid, put your own numbers on it, select a range. You might go 0 to 20, you might go 20 to 50, you might go 0 to 100. Have 9 numbers there, whatever array. You might go 4 by 4. A bingo sheet. Then you could play where you're trying to get your particular numbers and try and get 3 in a row, 4 in a row. Play it like cover up, or I forget the name of that game, that where you drop the counters in. It'll come to me. You're all probably saying it, screaming at it right now. So you could use it as bingo. First to fill their sheet, first to get a row, connect 4. There we go. There's just a whole lot of ways of doing it. So basically it's just say the first number, then the second number, say what operation you're going to use with those first 2, and then when the third number comes up, choose any operation you like to try and cover the number. As I said, first to get so many in a row, you might play until who's got the most in the chart. You might have 10 counters each, you can get rid of their 10 counters first. You could also play Sorry Not, which I'm linking to in my previous games, where I might make an equation and it comes to 34, but my opponent has got a counter on 34. Sorry, not, you replace their counter with yours. You could play with multiple players. And another beauty is if you've got a couple of players, you could then see different ways of using 3 numbers by the different people. You might have 2, 3 and 6 used in 4 different ways if there's 4 different players. So that's just another game I've come up with. See how you go, and here's a quick demonstration. Cheers. Okay, quick demonstration of how to play this and that. Sort of like going, this is the first number, this is the second number, that is the product, or that is the answer. I'm just starting with the dice here. You could use 3 dice, or I could just use 1. For the ages of the kids, you could use 6-sided dice to make it easier. As always, just modify things to suit the ages and abilities of the kids. Using my chart here, I could flip it over and use the blank side, so they were able to find where the numbers are. Here, change it however it suits your kids. Come up with lots of ideas. If you look at another video I've got called the flower principle, we'll tell you more about that. Here we go. You can make it so that this is just the turn of the green person or the red person, or they all play at the same time. I prefer they all play at the same time. Here we go. We've got a 2. We all know we're going to start with 2. 3. Well, I'm just going to be the green person. I'm going to say I'm going to multiply 2 times 3. So we commit to our equation straight away rather than doing it all in. So 2 times 3, so I'm thinking 6, and I can have a bit of pen and paper or a whiteboard nearby to remember what I'm doing. And so now I'm at 6, and I might be anticipating already, if I get a multiplying, it's going to be down here somewhere. If I do a takeaway, it's going to be here. If I do an addition, it'll be maybe in this range. So I'm predicting where my next one could come from. So 6, 0. 6 take away 0 is 6. 6 times 0 is 0. Well, 6 plus 0 is 6. Well, I'm just going to go 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 0 is 6. The red person, they might have said 3. Take away 2 is 1. 1 plus 0 is still 1. There we go. Let's have another roll. 7. We can't do anything yet, but I'm anticipating. 7, 8. Wow. I could add, I could subtract, I can't divide. So even saying what you can and can't do, which operations are possible. 7 and 8. I'll just keep it simple. I'm going to add. So I'm at 15. So I'm looking where 15 is upside down. Wow, and I'm thinking if I multiply, I could still make here, but certain numbers will take me off the chart, so I've got to be very careful. And you might even have another thing where you might say, I'm going to commit to an operation for the third roll. I might say, okay, I'm going to multiply, or the other one might say, I'm going to subtract. Different rules, different schools. I'm going to add. So 15 plus 7 is 22. I put a counter on 22. Already I'm starting to say, well, I might be able to get a bit of a combination here. I could go for 3 in a row, or you could just sort of even say first to get an array, a group. Anything could happen. And let's have one more go. 0, 4. So I'm going to go plus 0 plus 4 is 4, and for my third number, so I'm at 4. What can I do? I can do 4 take away 3, 4 times 3. I can't divide. I'm going to go 4 times 3, and that is 12. So I will put a counter on 12. Already I'm starting to get a bit of a row here. If our rule was 3 in a row, 4 in a row, whatever, my opponent might see that, so he or she might try and block me by aiming for 2 or 23, or those ones. So they're looking at options about what numbers they might need to make as well in order to prevent me from going. So that's how we play this, and that. Hope you enjoy it. Cheers.